So, welcome to episode 26 of No Shame. Robin only informed me there. 26 is half a year. Half a year of podcasting already. To be honest, I thought I'd give it a few weeks and then I wouldn't have been that into it, to be honest. But I am. It's good crack. And you know what's great? A lot of the feedback that we get is incredible. I'm going to actually do a post now on my own page, but we have an Instagram page now for the No Shame. We've got around to doing it. A Twitter, and there's a Facebook there as well, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so if you want to follow it, there's going to be a lot more of the clips coming up on that, because people do be saying to me, "Can you throw more clips up on my story and stuff like that?" But no, because that's my personal Instagram, and it kind of gets kidnapped a little bit. But I don't want to flood it with that either. With all No Shame either. So if you want to follow the No Shame page, it's No Shame cast on Instagram. 26 episodes. That's absolutely crazy, Robin, isn't it?
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like 6 months. That's the flying.
No,
and you know what the thing is as well? We've had some quality guests. There's some quality guests, yeah. But today we have a man that I've always wanted on. I've been dying to have this chat with this guy for a long time, and I know that there's people in the street that'll turn around and want to walk up to my man here and say, "Listen, I have a question for you." But he probably wouldn't have had the balls to do it. But today, this guy is a good light in his neighbourhood, in his community. I'm not even going to use his name, because if you don't know his name, that means you don't really know him. And I think that's the way that the Goose likes it.
That's right, the Goose likes it.
So the Goose, this is the Goose we have on today, and this guy is he's an inspiring character in himself.
You're making me blush.
No, yeah, he has a pinky on because he's not afraid of his sexuality
at all.
Sexuality either. Oh, and he probably forgot it and took her off the back of my door downstairs.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Chelsea's one. Yeah,
that's what it is. So, I'll tell a little bit of your story from how I got about you. So, the Goose is an artist, and if you haven't checked out some of his stuff, check it out on Instagram. Your page is The Goose, isn't it?
The Goose, yeah.
The Goose, yeah.
It's
unreal. What he does is he does paintings of characters and people that he sees, so real people as he sees them as characters, as mythical warriors, as all sorts of stuff. I can't even go through some of the stuff, but I've actually referenced to The Goose on other shows, and I had to talk him into, he's a bit of a shy man, you know what I mean? He's a bit of a shy man, but I had to talk him into coming in anyway. But if you check out some of his art, it's incredible. How I first kind of noticed him is I actually did a course a long time ago when I was a young boy.
Yeah, nipper.
Yeah, I was only a nipper. I done my fitness course, and I done it with Paula, which Paula would be
my little sister. Yeah.
So I ended up hearing about the Goose then, and I remember that's the first time I kind of heard about you, and then his two sons. So his two sons, one of them actually works here, Gary and Darren as well. Two awesome kids, really open-minded. You can have a great conversation with them. Now, don't ask them to turn up on time or anything, they won't do that.
They get that from that,
yeah, they get that from that. But they're two blue belts in Jiu Jitsu now as well. But they actually, it was Paula that got on to me about getting them into Jiu Jitsu, and when I was doing my fitness course, and it's crazy how this kind of relationship built up. So the guys joined, and they're phenomenal. They help coach now as well, and they're such good kids. So then the Goose would be at reception, and all of a sudden the tables that were in front of us was just inanimate objects were getting painted, and now there was gorillas on them, and there was belts and there was all sorts of stuff, and that was kind of like just a normal object in the corner started coming to life. You saying there was pictures and paintings, and I was amazed with that. I was starting to follow that, and then I remember you coming and giving me a painting of myself you'd give me. And I was throwing a kick in it. It was one of the most detailed. It's probably one of the first ones I've ever got, and I was shocked that someone was standing there looking at a canvas for that long. Now I've got a heap of them since. Now I've got another one off you as well, and there was one of them I got you to make for me, didn't I? My first ever loss. It's a picture of my face after my first ever loss. And I remember, I need this because I'm going to keep this picture right in front of me because it's
a real moment in time,
I'm fucking sad in that moment. I'm heartbroken.
It's the only time I ever seen you without a smile on your face.
That's probably right, you know.
And that's why it was such a meaningful moment for me, to see that picture. You know what I mean? Because you've always been you've always been a guiding light for me. You know what I mean? Because you're from the same sort of area I'm from. You've had many of the same downfalls that I've had, but you didn't end up going the route I went.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, like this little motherfucker can do it, you know what I mean? This little scrawny kid from Tally, you know what I mean? Like, so like, you better start getting your act together a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like little by little influence, I influence you, you influence me. It's just like it builds, you know what I mean? And then after X amount of years, like things happen, don't they? You know what I mean?
Do you know what?
You have to stay in the game to do anything.
And the thing that you said there is a great thing. X amount of years, because X is the number.
Yeah.
Because everyone's number is different.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Like, so like there's no doubt you've been down a hard road. You've been on the darkest of darkest, and I think now this is probably the lightest of lightest. So
this is a whole different, like, I've had like 3 shots at life, and most people get 1. Do you know what I mean?
like that
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And like this is the real one now. Like my eyes are fully open. Like I was like for a long time I was a heroin addict. I was on methadone. Yeah. And then when we built this gym like last year, it was like I was starting to like come alive a little bit, you know what I mean? And like things were starting to happen. Like I grew up out my arse. I've had to force myself, because you're not a man to take help from anyone, yeah? You know what I mean? So it's like I had to force myself in here with you, yeah? It's like, okay, come up, help, whatever. We got the whole thing together. Then Mario came along, his gym was in bits, yeah? It's like, okay, I need to build this gym. Would you help me build this gym? No, he asked me for a logo after I did your logo.
So he's been in two of them. So this is kind of the story of what you were saying there is that. So years and years you suffered on heroin, which most of Dublin did, unfortunately, back in them times.
Yeah, heroin was the marijuana of our time. Yeah,
it was, and
100%. Yeah.
Like now, I might touching wood. I've never ever got to experience heroin or something like that. But like, it is a drug that I've seen people absolutely despair from. Just go straight downhill and never come back. Now then, it is a drug that I've seen people despair from and then shine and come straight up out of this. Now
you either survive or you don't.
Exactly. But it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not an easy thing to do.
It's
no.
not an
no, because now like there's like a whole system in place where like you can get legalised synthesized heroin.
So is that what because
methadone? That's what methadone is.
I had Willie White on last week as well, and Willie would have. He said he fell into the same thing as well. You know what I mean? He fell into drugs and then the methadone program and stuff like that. So what is that methadone program?
It's like,
I know you've been
there's different systems, like, so like there's like a stabilisation program, like where like, so you're only on taking heroin a little while maybe, and like they'll give you like this for a certain amount of time, hoping to get you off it. But then there's people like who are taking it for a long time, and they try to match your length of time on heroin to your length of time on methadone, which is kind of dumb for someone who's been like taking heroin for 10, 15 years. It's a life sentence then.
Let's
you know what I mean?
it then.
Like if it wasn't for Mario, I'd probably still be taking methadone. I'd probably still be taking it. But Mario just turned around and said to me, I don't like you and that stuff. I can tell straight away, like, so you better do something about it.
Mario, so Mario would be a guy that years and years ago when this whole jiu-jitsu kind of thing came together for us. I don't even think like the Goose wasn't there at that time.
No, it wasn't. No,
the Goose was on. You would have been on it.
I would have been on a mad one.
You would have been on a mad one. Right? So Mario would have been a white belt starting same time I started. Now Mario is a black belt and he owns Silverback Academy. Absolutely incredible dude. If you had never met this guy, this is the Goose is Mario. It's the Goose and Mario. it's like a television program, but two incredible people. Mario's another guy as well. That's all about the world and all about like humanity and giving back and
living in the light, basically living in the light. Yeah,
and he's had his own little demons the last little while as well. And
haven't we all?
We all have. That's what I'm saying. With Camille, which would have been one of our friends, which would have been one of Mario's very, very close friends as well. Which sadly we lost him to suicide. But Mario and I think yourself have fired up this incredible relationship between each other last little while. And Mario is saying that he would be a friend, you know what I mean? But like you've beat this as well, but there's a few things I want to ask you, of course, because as I said, there's people that like I've always wanted to say this. I've always wanted to ask someone like what is it? What's heroin like? What is heroin like when you
take it?
Yeah.
The way I describe it, to people, like, it's the only kind of analogy I can make, really, is like, you know, when you're a kid and you fall down, you hurt yourself, and then like your ma or your favourite auntie or your granny comes over and they give you a big hug and everything just feels okay. That's heroin in a nutshell.
So, and that's what people chase, isn't it?
That's what people. Yeah, like, you're not taking heroin if like you're a socially normally adjusted person. Do you get me?
Yeah,
Like you've got some issue that you can't deal with internally, yeah.
Like
so like
childhood
opiates
kind of
are like well renowned for like covering all that sort of stuff up for 20, 30 years till you have to open the casket and then look in and deal with it, yeah. Like I haven't even opened my casket fully. Like I sit on that thing and it's locked up. I don't want to know what's in it because like I don't want that darkness.
Well, though, you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
And choose the new
choose, yeah.
life.
That's it. That's what I've done totally.
And choose the new life because like it is a hard road to come back from. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Now there's no doubt that I'd say there's a beautiful euphoria in them in that little moment of heroin, but then it's when you crash back into life.
You're a slave, like
you're a slave.
You're a slave to it. You definitely are a slave
Explain
to
that
it.
to me, because I've heard people saying that as well. You're a slave to it.
Yeah, it's like you really can't function without it. You know when you have the flu, like a really, really bad flu, you get a lot of similar symptoms to that when you've got no opiates in your system. So you get cramps in your legs, you get wandering leg, your legs start shaking all over the place, becomes real light. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't sleep, you sweat, you cold sweat. Like you get this like a psychological tick, like Chinese water torture. Yeah. Get a fix, constantly, like, and like you twitch with it. It's like you're going out there to do something, and the longer you leave that, the more chances you're going to do something crazy.
Yeah.
So like when you're in the little revolving door, you're kind of like, okay, I've got a high, starting to come down off the high. I better get more money. I got a high, because you don't ever want to fall into that horrible little wash. You know what I mean?
No.
Where it goes downhill pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because then you like I've heard, because as I said, people, I know people like. If this is something in the community that people are saying like, that's gone, it doesn't exist. Like, I do a lot of thing with like the drug rehab clinics and stuff like that, and and not I won't say I enjoy being around people that are like me, you know what I mean, in a way of like where they're struggling still, they're coming up now. I think it makes it a bigger struggle within the struggle if somebody is at the falling into heroin and stuff like that, because all of a sudden there's a devil over their life.
But there's a certain honesty with like drug addicts as well, like, because like they can't hardly pull the wool over your eyes about them being X, Y and Z, like, because look at them, you know, like, so you get this, like, especially if you're coming in to help someone. Like, if you walk through town, the people who are smiling at you the most and the people who are, like, giving change to other homeless people most are, like, other fucking drug addicts, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? You're saying it from the horse's mouth there as well, because you've seen it from both sides, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But, like, so absolutely, like, this year was a celebration. I remember having this celebration with you where this is the first year in many years that you were, like, now, because you've been off heroin for years, but the idea of
methadone,
which is the substitution of it.
Yeah, so like Christmas Day was my like present to myself, was like, okay, you're going to wake up and you're not going to take on today. And then I just went for it from that day onwards, kind of. You know? Like, I'd reduced my dose to like a certain level, and then like I got my dates wrong. So it was like, okay, you're coming off a bit earlier than you can. And that could have been, I could have went, no, I'm not ready for it yet. But I had told everyone. And like, I recommend that to anyone. Tell as many people as possible. And then like, you're kind of stuck, you have to stick to it, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, that's what I did anyway, you know what I mean? And then, so that morning, I woke up, felt a bit poxy, came up here, done some rounds, and after those rounds, I felt like a king. I felt like a king, man.
Man, I have to say, I was so proud of you. As I said, like, a relationship bonding goes back to like years ago when I was training with Paul, and then I was hearing about situations that you were in back then, and like, my brother's in trouble, and he said, Jesus, man, like, and it was mad that when I met you, I was like, this is the guy that I've heard about, and this is the goose, you know what I mean? But so you've gone on this jiu-jitsu journey, so this hasn't happened easy, there's no doubt. Like, you've been through a lot. You helped me build this gym, you helped Mario build his gym, you've been around the SBG, you know, like, you're like a mascot, if you must.
A mascot, yeah. That's what it felt like for a long time. Just a mascot, but I wanted to be a partaker for so long, you know what I mean?
And this is it. So Mark has been waiting for so long, and then you got into jiu-jitsu, and Mark won a gold medal this year, and was it the Dublin Open or the...
No, in one of those grassroots, like under 6 months training job, you know what I mean?
To go from... being in that kind of dark place, I feel like you jumped onto the ship, like, which would have been, say, the SBG ships, and there's different mentalities in the different ships, and you've been on all of them. You were a deck man nearly on all of them, and you were a solid crew member of them.
There's like similarities, like, it's a big, huge, massive family tree to me. You know what I mean? Like that, like, and it's great. You know what I mean? Like, I would train at any gym with anybody at any time, you know what I mean? And that's just the way I feel, like, you know what I mean? I love it. I love it so much. So Mark's been doing jiu-jitsu for about 8 months now, How long is this place open?
About 8 months, I don't know.
So about 8 months,
About 9 months. But Mark is giving people trouble now, you know what I'm saying? Mark is people are like...
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I'm telling you now, people are saying to me, man, Mark's good, isn't he? You know what I mean? I'm like, well, do you think he was going to be shit? You know what I mean? He's like,
I've been watching it for a long time, but like I learned pretty quickly, yeah? I thought I knew certain things, yeah? And this is crazy, the difference between watching something and actually feeling the pressure of what's going on underneath.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole different ball game there, you know what I mean? And I'm only losing that old kind of self and becoming into the realisation like that, you know nothing, pal. You know what I mean?
But
you know nothing.
It takes a long time to do that, and there's something I've always loved about you as well, as a lot of the stuff that you'll hear on this, that now I know he looks like my father, but he's not my father, that's for sure. Yeah, the Goose is definitely not my man's type. Well, anyway, a lot of the stuff that I've learned will be from you as well. Like, you know what I mean? There's no doubt if we have something going on, and I'm the type of person like that. If we have some trouble, who the fuck's that laughing out there? They know the silence rule. There's a silence rule around here when the podcast is on.
We go outside now.
We need a podcast light. That's what we need, Mark. You know, one of them light on air.
Yeah,
you know
on air. Yeah.
On air.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so the idea of like everyone going through like something like. Could be to do with like the Israel, the Palestine, the Syria. It could be to do with the universe. It could be something to do like Mark put me onto that 1984 book. Mark put me onto so many different books, and this guy is an absolute encyclopedia.
Reading is very important.
So
like it is like I can't read now because my eyes don't work the way they used to, so I have to go unfortunately get an eye test. But yeah, I like reading a lot, yeah.
You're very good at it.
Yeah, I like reading.
You're so clever when it comes down, because there's so many people, right, and this is the thing that does my head, that pretends that they know what they're talking about. Like, now I'm not saying, I am not the man to say that I know what I'm talking about, but let me tell you one thing, I will have a fucking opinion.
Yeah.
And my opinion will not be just to cause an argument.
Yeah.
My opinion will be more likely to stand.
You should. People should stand behind their opinions. A lot of people have opinions and they don't really understand the opinion that they have or the view that they have, and it doesn't take much to swing many people's opinion or their view of something, because like people don't look into what they think they believe in. They don't understand what's really going on behind things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get me? Like Israel and Palestine, that's a crazy situation, but that goes back a long time.
Long time.
You know, like it's a long time ago.
I put a post up about this the other day, right? So I know that people probably are sick of hearing about this stuff when you hear about the Middle East, but this is two ordinary guys kind of trying to decipher what is going on over there.
Yeah.
Like, and to me, this is always the big thing. I stuck a post up the other day to support the people of Palestine, because I believe the people of Palestine, no matter which way the origin or how they got that country is, that they're the ones being shot now. They're the ones being killed now. Yeah. And the same way as if it was the Palestinians coming up the gates and killing the Israelis, the way that I would be against that. I don't really care who owns the land.
It was a Muslim country for like the longest of time, so like to just have a load of people who aren't even like really from that area, like so a lot of Russians and a lot of Europeans coming in and deciding, oh well, this is our land now based on a religion, some doctrine. It's not really right, is it?
No.
You know what I mean? And even if you like, let's say you believe in Israel and you want to support Israel, yeah? Like the way that they've divided up, so you see, oh well, they have the West Bank and they have Gaza, yeah.
So bro, break it down for us, even before that, because like this is what happens, and this is where I feel a lot of people. This is where I would have been before Mark. I would have said, oh yeah, listen, I don't know, that's just too crazy. Yeah. That's all that shit going on out there. But like in the idea of like, so try.
If it could happen in Palestine, yeah,
right.
And it's already happened in Ireland, yeah. So Ireland is a divided state, yeah.
Someone gave me a picture of Ireland the other day and showed with the Irish country what happened and how it took over, and I was like, holy shit! Yeah, it's when you put it in your own country.
Yeah, it's a different story. But even those things are misleading, because even in the West Bank is subdivided again. So like it looks like they're still maintaining that little bit of territory, but each little like section, each little village is separated by roads, by like settlements, by like Israeli settlements, and the Israelis always take the high ground. So they'll take the high ground settlement, they'll take the water flow, and they just throw all the rubbish into that. And then the people living down the road, they're just getting like poisoned water, fresh water.
That is what you see.
You can't support that stuff, like. You know
what
I mean?
happened was after the war, the
First World War, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed. So the Ottoman Empire was a big like Muslim empire, like from the Crusades basically, and they've been like having the whole of that, like they took part of the Roman Empire, like Constantinople, Turkey and all that, and they ran it from there. But when the First World War broke out, they supported the Germans, and obviously we know what way that went. But that war never really ended. That's the point of the whole thing. The First World War never really ended, because the consequences of the dividing up of everywhere else leads us directly to like ISIS.
Okay.
Like there's a direct path.
Because there's so many different breakaways and different opinions and different.
Well, you take a group of people and you say, right, we're going to divide you culturally, yeah, and then we're going to put the minority in power to rule over you. And that's how they did it. Like that's like colonial rule. Yeah. Like we're going to be at the top, we're the colonies. The middlemen will be the smallest group because they're the least threat because there's the least of them, and then the bigger groups will all like do the menial jobs and the menial tasks, like being police officers and soldiers and stuff, and that breeds brutality. Yeah,
that is
so
true.
like that never really. So at the end of that war, the English had a mandate to look after like Palestine, and it was still called Palestine at that time. Palestine, yeah,
but it was
and
in a different shape.
Transjordan.
Transjordan.
But they're both two different places, like you know what I mean. Do you get me?
Yeah, two different places.
Two completely different places.
They had them together as a
mandate, like to look after from like the UN, yeah. So like that you're responsible for them. Like having a ward of court if you're like a parent or something. Like so, it's your responsibility to look after these and make sure like these fulfil some sort of government when your mandate is over, so that people can look after themselves. Yeah. But when that mandate was coming up, the end of the Second World War was happening. And there were like a big influx of Jews that was facilitated by the West really to go there.
They cut kind of half of the country and said like, listen, this
well,
is
first what happened was the British still had the mandate, and guys like David Ben Gurion, they started like a Zionist terrorist group, because it all goes back to like a thing called Zionism, a political philosophy, right. Yeah, like where they believe Jews should be back in the homeland. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and like they're a really militant philosophy. They're like the Scientologists of religions. Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
And this is the idea of, because this is what a lot of people say to me. Like it was the Israelis' land before that. Now, when as I said, I posted something up the other day, man. I'm not messing. Yeah. Like the way people talk about like other human beings and all that, and I didn't even comment back on it. I didn't. Yeah. But what I wanted to comment back on is, listen, I am pissed off when people are just killing people, and I know that sounds very hippie type and very thing like that, but
it's the brutality of it. You can't like be firing like 9mm rounds at somebody's throwing a stone at you.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Be.
And I was
it's
getting
not
things.
Right.
Well, what do you expect them to get when they're storming borders? And you're like, but there's no borders.
Who's storming borders?
But there's no borders.
But who's storming the borders? And what borders are they? Whose borders are they?
Yes, this is what I'm saying, and the idea of like. And then you have people saying to you like forget about it. So what are you even getting involved in? You should think about Irish politics. You should think about this, and you're like,
people are people, bro.
Yeah, that to me, that's it. Like, and then I said something to Chelsea, and she was like, "You're a hippie." I said, imagine like, and I know, and John Lennon said this before. Imagine all of the soldiers turned around to everyone, all the soldiers in the world, and just decided, right? No. I'm not gonna kill anybody else.
That's how most revolutions become successful.
Yeah,
when the Russian soldiers decided to support the people, there was an overthrow of government.
And it's crazy because
I have nothing against soldiers. Yeah, like even all those American soldiers in there doing terrible things. I have nothing against them. Like I actually support those guys for having the balls to go into a really dangerous situation and stand beside something you think you believe in. Yeah, that you've been indoctrinated from childhood 100%. Since. You know, do you get me? So like I stand behind them. It's governments that I don't trust.
The same thing about, that's what people say to me, how do you hear you talking? And I don't any soldiers, as I said, I have nothing against that either, but if you have the mentality of a soldier that's divide and conquer, well then I have a problem. Do you know what I mean? Because then my problem's not with a soldier, my problem's with a person then. Do you know what I mean? But the soldiers, as you're saying there, is if every soldier put down their gun at the same time, all of these governments wouldn't be able to kind of throw that weight around with each other, because all of a sudden we put them into it, not to go on, I've said this before, and let them fight each other in a way. I guarantee you, the things that they say and the consequences when it becomes on them would be a lot different the way it happens.
Of course, and there's a dehumanisation process before you go to fight. Like when you're getting trained to go and fight someone, it's like you like put like names on them. You know what I mean? Like, so kill them packies or kill them gooks. So like, they're not people then, they're gooks. You know what I mean? So like it's all this sort of carry on happens. You know what I mean? So like by the time you get there, you're all G'd up, ready to kill some gooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
do you get me? That's the way it is. Like
they make it in a way of like that. It's a non-human.
It's a non-human.
100%. And if you think through the laws, because like I've been watching films the last few nights, or the last few days. American war films, and you know what the mad thing is, sometimes I find it even hard to find out what country they're in my head on that film. Do you get what I mean? There's so many different stories and in so many different countries. The one I was watching the other day, and it was very good, it was, right? And it kind of gave you a good opportunity. And if you don't get the idea of what I'm trying to feel, this is it. This guy in the film, he's an American soldier, Hacksaw Ridge. Have you seen it yet?
Have seen Hacksaw
Ridge.
Very
good. The guy decides to refuse to shoot and kill somebody, and like at the start of it, when they have him in the training camp, they send them to a psychiatrist because they're like, this guy is mentally ill because he doesn't want to kill somebody. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? That how could you mentally make sure thinks that someone's mentally because they won't kill somebody.
Yeah.
And then not only that, the guys in his thing turn on him and start bullying him and beat him up and all.
And he carries all their injured and dead bodies off that ridge.
When they all bail, when all of a sudden the shit hits the fan. That one around the film, turn it off now if you haven't seen this film.
Yeah, it's history, innit? It's history more than film, innit?
But the Japanese in the time are storming them and they're coming up out holes in the ground and they don't understand the tactics. The American armies just keep sending people up over this ridge, one after the other, platoon after platoon, and they're coming back slaughtered. But there's no question, it's just keep the pressure on them, you know what I'm saying?
Course, yeah.
And the human bodies.
Yeah.
But what happens is the soldier, I think it's Desmond, I think his name is something Desmond.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
It's very good anyway. But he stays up there when all the other soldiers go through the night. And there's Japanese soldiers injured, there's American soldiers injured, and he sends down both of them.
Yeah.
And he's a medic. He decides to just be a medic. He never touches a gun in the whole film, and he gets I think it's the Medal of Bravery, I think it is.
Yeah, what do they call it? Purple Hearts or something like that. Yeah.
But he saves 75 people by just lowering them down, Japanese and Americans, and they're helping on both sides, and it's like.
The act is so much more important than the medal, isn't it? When you think about it, like, you know.
And it was mad that I ended up throwing this film because I didn't really watch many more films or anything like that. And I remember when I turned around, I ended saying to Chelsea the next day, I was like, that kind of happened in this film what I was on about, and like you can imagine Japanese getting sent down and stuff like that on the side, and they're sick and they're wounded, and the Americans helping them, and all of a sudden that human thing happened in between them. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's an amazing.
You can also imagine Japanese soldiers being taken down and being killed on the way down.
Yeah, and that's. Do you know what I was thinking of that when I was saying, like, I wonder what happens when they get to the
you
other
just
side.
seen your mates having his head blown off by some like Japanese guy, and now it's your opportunity to get it back.
And you know what, looking at a lot of the things, like how real it is, and like there's a scene in it, and whoever shot this scene should get a blatant Oscar or something like that, because there's about 7 minutes of just like killing and things. But you can imagine what that is like when you're sending at people near machine guns, running at machine guns, like, and as I said, like what you said at the start, is I've nothing against any soldiers, nothing against America, but if you were sitting in your office, I don't know how people could live sending people into them, like onto them.
They have this stupid idea that they're right and the other guy is wrong, and it's like both people have their toes dug into the sand, don't they, and no one wants to give an inch, really, you know what I mean? It's like political doctrines, it's just things to divide us as people. You know, it's like having Liverpool and Man United,
yeah.
They're both tools by big corporations and governments to control people.
And you know what, people would laugh at that in a way. Like, but if you think about every single town, think about it. Yeah. Every single town.
Why does every like Western democracy end up as a two-party system, more or less? You know, it's like red against blue, right against left. You know, it's just pitch the people against each other. You know, and while they're in there like arguing about like whether abortion should be legal or legalised or all that, we're off spending all that money.
Yeah, you know? and even that, like someone said to me the other day, like, be very careful about, like, and I don't even want to go into that, but be very careful about that. When the government start trying to change something and start trying to get you to do something, try to think about where someone could profit from that. Yeah. And he was like, no one's going to be able to profit from abortion if you must, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
and then all
there's
of a
always
sudden,
profit.
when I started
anything
looking
got to do with the
medical
medical industry, it has profit in it.
Yeah, when it comes down to stem cells and stuff like that, and I won't even go into that, you know, because I don't know enough about it to talk about it anyway.
But on that issue, like on that issue, like, I don't know whether I 100% agree with abortion, Do
you know what?
But I 100% agree with freedom.
Yeah, choice.
Freedom. Yeah, it's freedom. Like, it's not even choice, it's freedom. It's like the right to have autonomy over your own body. Yeah. You know, I would like to be able to do and put all the things I want in my body, and some of the things that I want to do and take are illegal. And I can't. I don't have the right to do the things that I want to do.
This is another one that you would be a mad advocate for marijuana being released.
Oh, 100%. 100% marijuana. Yeah, of course, it's freedom. It's a free. Like, if I want to take a substance that grows naturally in the ground and put it into my body, why shouldn't I be allowed to do that? If for like the last 200 years you've been forcing us to smoke like a bleeding, basically what's an insecticide, highly addictive,
which will be tobacco,
feeding us sugar, which is also one of the worst things you can put into your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, why can't I take something?
You know, you would obviously know the original reason why like marijuana was legal or it made it illegal and stuff like that.
Well, one of the theories is like your man from that Citizen Kane movie, like that's about I can't remember his name at the moment.
So some people wouldn't realise what the
newspaper moguls in America who had massive forests and massive things of like pine trees and all that, yeah. Like a marijuana crop, you can grow 4 crops a year. It makes the best paper. It makes cloth. It can,
the hemp.
it can clothe you, it can feed you, and it can house you.
Yeah.
So like, if there's any tree that's a tree of life in the world, yeah,
And
it's
it can
definitely
wreck
health.
you.
Yeah. And like, you can use it as a fuel.
Yeah.
And it's a medicine. Like it's got like thousands of medical
It's
compounds.
like a coconut plant need, or like a coconut need.
It's like coconut, but it's got like even more good things than coconut.
Butters and pastes and clothes and papers.
Everything. But like it's been proven to like have an effect on people with Alzheimer's. It's been proven to have an effect on people with Parkinson's, because there's so many different chemicals in it that are like medicinal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about people going off and getting high. You know, I can't really socialise with people if I don't smoke blow.
Yeah.
I can't. I'd sit in the corner and I'd be like really quiet.
But some people can't like now. Some people couldn't socialise without alcohol. But
Yeah,
people would find that
100%.
comment very.
Yeah,
like, whoa,
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alcohol's a terrible poison to your body though over the long term.
And I've never in my whole life seen someone that got stoned out the rock and smashed the gavel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it doesn't happen, yeah.
It
Look,
doesn't happen.
there are downfalls to smoking
100%.
bud, of
Yeah.
course. You know what I mean. You have to be a realist. There's tars in there. There's like chlorophyll, but now like there's new technologies, vaping technologies, purifying THC. It's like it's coming a long way. You know what I mean?
So the original legalisation, do you think like? Well,
I think everything should be legalised. I think like from like I was a heroin addict, and I think heroin should be legal.
Right.
Because I think people should have the right to do whatever they want to do. You
But
know,
do you
you're not
feel
harming somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
your own stuff.
Yeah, no, it is to be a mad hour.
Can you imagine how much money the government would make from taxing like marijuana, from taxing cocaine, and then people would get to see the actual effects of cocaine addiction? So it's like, remember Tommy over there used to have that lovely house? Yeah, well, he's a cocaine addict now, and he's down there begging on the corner.
Yeah, it's like,
You know, instead of being like swept under the carpet and not like hide all that from your kids, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then they
and
go out into the real world and they don't have a clue what's going on.
and there is it's not just as you see like what would you say, like a second class citizen problem or
No,
whatever.
of course, addiction's with everybody. Like, as humans, we become addicted to things. We've been taking substances for like thousands of years, so like we're not going to stop now.
I'm sure
You know?
there's still chimps out there somewhere that found the fruit that they rub off themselves and they go
Jaguars
there.
take ayahuasca.
That's what, do they?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Jaguars take ayahuasca. Go on DMT trips.
That's mental. You wouldn't want to run into one of them, would you?
No, definitely not.
Imagine that thing.
He'd be asleep probably though. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, that hell.
Yeah.
That'd be my luck, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That running on someone that'd be an ayahuasca
Jaguar. Yeah.
So there's another thing as well. So Mark started getting involved. I won't use any names. We're on the Dilo Anonymous here. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're a huge group that is an advocate for supporting the community and brightening this place
And
up.
arts, yeah.
And arts,
Arts,
if
yeah,
you must,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Now, they can make themselves known if they want.
Yeah,
But
like for instance, the project that's going on, yeah, like the Grey Area
Right, so
project, yeah,
Grey Area
yeah.
project.
So like people are putting murals up in the city, yeah, like out of their own pocket, yeah, to brighten the place up. The owners of the buildings are like agreeing to have these things put up,
so
and
they're putting
then
out iconic people. Name a few of the people that would be
like
iconically
the
made.
president, Kanye, Stormzy, yeah, like good
Yeah.
stuff, yeah, like all around the place, yeah, and then the
Was that
council.
big Stormzy one that was done in the city
Yeah.
centre? Was that?
That was one of them. That was the first one to get like this kind of notice, this takedown notice, yeah.
That was the great.
Yeah.
So Mark is involved, as you said, with
With the community, like
with
yeah.
the community. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Or brightening
at
up
large,
the
yeah.
Deguze.
Yeah,
He's you've only in the last little while came on to this group of people that are very like-minded of yours.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but are a popular group of people as well, you know what I mean? And
They're
and
making
you've been-
changes, like they're guiding lights in the city, yeah.
And you know what's mad as well, because when I kind of got you in with that guys, I
Yeah.
said on the they now message me and I say, you know, nice one, fair play. They were like, how's Mark getting on?
Yeah,
Or how's
yeah.
the goose getting on?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
they'd say
yeah,
to me
yeah,
about like,
yeah.
Paddy, he's a legend, he's
yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah.
He educates us on it, because I can imagine you there talking to them and going on and filling them full of
Yeah, it's
information.
kind of
that they're like,
weird. It's a weird kind of position to be
where
in.
is he
Like, you
getting
know
that
what I mean?
information from? Because it sounds fucking true, and that's what we would have been like at the start. You know what I mean? And I got home and Google, I'm like, he's not off his head.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, so how like that's a serious project to be involved
It's a serious project, yeah. Like, it's good to see it, like, to be happening in the area. You know what I mean? Like, to see inner city Dublin, like, having some like nice art out there. You know, like some people call it graffiti, some people call it street art. It's probably a mixture of both. You know, but Dublin City Council are taking things down, yeah, like issuing takedown orders and stuff, and it's like, it's wrong really, like to darken the city in that way.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot. Well, I think there's so much, like, the amount of tourism and stuff like that can be generated from having, like, like, you know, in Iceland, in Iceland, in Reykjavik, they have, like, savage murals on the side of the building.
In Portugal and in,
just in people in their communities, they put on the side of the buildings and stuff like that, and they're fascinating.
Yeah, that's what, like, the local people should be painted in the local area. Like
yourself.
Like myself, yeah, exactly.
Deguze has been
immortalised on a wall,
in his area, which is a tough area in Dublin, you know what I mean? And this is what I told you about. You are a guiding light whether you like it or not, because many people have fell down that hole, some people are still in that hole. But the main thing is it takes a lot of work to get out of there, and it's not an overnight thing. It's not because, like, it's not that I dragged you up out there, I found you, or that the guys that are working with the arts or
it's a lot like raising a kid, yeah. Like, it takes a village to raise a kid. Like, so, like, you mentioned my 2 kids earlier, yeah, and I'd be an absolute fool if I thought I got them 2 kids to where they are today, yeah. Because, like, how can I teach them to be blue belts in Jiu Jitsu? Because I don't know Jiu Jitsu.
They strangle you.
Do you get me?
They strangle you.
So, like, I put it down to, like, John Kavanagh, Owen Roddy, you, like, there's a lot of good people, like, you know what I mean, like, that put good work and time into them, yeah. Do you get me? That I couldn't put into.
But them as well. They have
to put the work in. They have to put the work in.
10% is outside, and then the rest of it is 90% is turning up.
Yeah, but, like, you need people who can influence you and give you that information.
Yeah, no.
You know, and as a parent, I believe you have to be willing to let other people raise your kids.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people are afraid of that influence, you know what I mean? A lot of people are like, oh, like, is he getting too close to this guy, or is he, like, you know?
Whereas, they're 2 great kids, but that's ego as well, isn't it? Like, an idea of, like...
Yeah, ego is a terrible thing, and like, you know, he hangs on that window ledge no matter how much you try to kill him, no matter how much you try to kill him, he hangs on with those fingernails, he'd climb in that window in a second,
You have to try and cleanse him, definitely. So the idea of that project, that, like, when you seen yours, because I remember I was away, the Goose, and I seen it, there was actually a part, the first picture I got of it was sent to me from the group was it was undone where your head was, and I thought that was actually like electricity and wires in your head, and I was like, that's brilliant, because that's exactly what his mind's like. I actually posted it up, and you'll see it on my Instagram. It says the beautiful mind. And that's what that should be. That's a
it's a great picture, like, it's
what a picture. Now the amount of people that texted to me saying, Paddy, I can't believe you got your mural of yourself. I'm like, you cunt. The amount of people
that was you, like, that's a good thing, though.
Oh, that is a good thing.
You know what I mean? It proves the DNA is in strong.
I knew we texted it. I knew we showed them back. No, this is his Instagram. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, is that your father? You see, Americans and stuff like that.
I get it all the time. I was with Gary, and we were over in Naga in Germany. And just a couple of years ago, and some kid came up and he was all really excited, and he said, "Oh, Paddy, can I have your autograph and stuff?" You know what I mean? And I had to say, no, sorry, I'm not Paddy. And his little heart broke, and I was saying, maybe I should have told him I was Paddy. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have just told him. It was terrible. It was terrible. But it happens quite often. So for me, it's not too bad because I'm being compared to you. You know what I mean? But for you, it must be terrible.
No, it's not. You lunatic. It's not at all. It's not.
Some shady old geezer from town,
Real sweets. What was I going to say? As well, while I have it on my mind, huge congratulations to the showstopper last night.
Oh, what a man.
Went out to Russia like Rocky, knocked out a Russian.
What a man.
First round.
Is there any old school guys left like Quayle? Is he like the last of a dying breed?
So you know what? I had him on the podcast there the other day, and I said that to him. That's how we introduced him. I think it is like one of the last ones left to fight any motherfucker breeding for sure. In
your backyard with all your mates watching and no one backing him up, and he'll go straight in there. Like.
That's a mad situation. And it's.
He's a great guy, though, isn't he?
He's a great guy.
A pure, genuine guy.
He deserves it. And now he hasn't got a finish in a while, so that finish there is definitely going to be. I hope that's the start of a new little reign. And were you saying, Robin, what did he end up doing after it?
Yeah, well, the crowd originally in the arena went absolutely nuts. They were throwing bottles and everything. They were even hitting their own, but
friendly fire.
Yeah, friendly. That's collateral damage.
So he tweeted later on that night. He says, "I'm okay, everyone. Mad scene here, being escorted by armed guard and moving hotel. You'll never beat the Irish."
That was for the protection of the Russians.
You know, and exactly. Can't be letting a Queely loose in Russia, can you?
That's what I'm saying. Like No,
And that wouldn't have bothered him in the least. He would have been just as cool as laughing his head off as normal. Look at this scene, lads. This is crazy, isn't it?
what of its finest.
Yeah.
That's what I said, because his dad, Bill Quilly. Bill Quilly, I'd say he's like a Tom Crean-esque, you know what I mean, guy. Imagine that he created Peter Quilly.
Yeah.
I need to be his dad more.
Yeah. He created that, yeah.
You know, and then on the weekend as well. So Bama. So I had a crazy one myself this week. That was the weekend gone.
A week ago.
Yeah,
The
you
weekend
had some
gone.
nice little thing. You were running around
so
like a
we were
mad
up at
thing.
Cage Legacy, with 2 fighters in Cage Legacy though. So the guy is coming up now. One of the guys dominated, lost a footlock, and then the next guy, Nate, lost the first 2 rounds in my opinion, but then pulled it out of the bag in the 3rd round, which is, it's a nice boxing thing.
Nate's a mixed martial artist now, yeah, 100%.
Especially
man, seeing
at,
that guy coming on, so
he got his
it's
blue belt
amazing,
yesterday as well.
amazing.
got his
Like
blue
he's an
belt.
inspiration, that
He's
young
a
to me.
great
Like
dude.
he really is
He's
a good
great
kid,
dude,
man.
but
Definitely.
the right kind of people.
Yeah.
And as I said,
Yeah.
we get to look forward to these guys in the years as well.
Yeah.
But on the schedule now, we had so then I drove from, that was in Newry at about 180 miles an hour.
Had to be, yeah.
I had to make it to the 3 Arena.
Yeah.
So I made it to the 3 Arena then for the Bama. So me and Andy Sledge had to do the rehearsal. So you do a rehearsal and then you go through what you're going to do. And I'm not messing. Everything we said on that night, not one word went on paper. I did
It's
a
just
lot
free
off
winging
the
it.
back of it.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I love
nice.
about Dublin because I know the fighters. So I'll go through 3 of the fights that I'd say blew me away. The first one would be Sam Slater.
That kid is like cream.
Like Sam Slater, if you don't know this kid, follow him now so you don't have to follow him
Sammy
when
boy.
he's an animal ahead. Sammy boy,
Yeah.
great dude as well. Put serious work. I can make a mean sandwich.
Do you know what he said to me? He said, I was thinking of you and Gary when I was going out to the cage. Isn't it mad the people you think about before you go out and fight?
That's what he said to me.
Yeah, I love that kid,
He's
man.
such a great kid.
Yeah, he's a legend, man.
Is.
He's a
but
legend.
His style, just outside the range, it switches stance so well when he's outside the range as well, which you don't know whether he's going to hit you with a side kick, you don't know whether he's a head
good
kick,
everywhere.
shot.
Yeah.
He is like he will be someone that I show a lot of the guys now and say, see that guy there, that distance, the efficiency, the way he if you look at his shots aren't all trying to kill you.
Yeah.
They're just peppering you, they're just pushing you back and pushing you back.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of my favourite finishes on that.
On the
I
night,
put on my
yeah.
Instagram the other night as well, and Sam, absolute savage job. Do that again and I'll be watching over
Love
and
ya.
over and over
Love
and over
ya.
and over again.
Yeah.
There was one time I done his corner in England and I said to him, so what are you going to do tomorrow? He's like, oh, I'm in work tomorrow. I'm like, do you know what, Sam? Someday you're going to be so big and famous that you're not going to have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
We like making sandwiches.
Yeah, that's him, innit? That's him,
said,
innit? Yeah, it's just so down to earth, man.
So
you know,
down to
so
earth.
down to earth. There's
And
no
then
ego
we-
in him at all, man.
Then we had the train. So Blaine
Yeah,
the train.
Blaine the
I was just
train.
gonna-
Oh,
I was supposed to have
my
Blaine
God.
on this week, but he squiddled out of it.
Didn't he put us in a roller coaster ride, didn't he?
Wheeled out of it.
Yeah,
But here,
yeah. Whew, what an animal. He's an
Absolute
animal.
animal.
The blokes. But the same thing about those two guys is, the work ethic.
And the time.
Yeah,
The time.
it's the time.
It's-
It's like they never shrink away from it. They're in there constantly. They live in the gym.
I'd say 6 to 8 years they've both put in
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know Sam Slater was training in the city centre gym that time. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
the big window fall out onto the street window was there as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was dangerous. You're sparring. It was like Royal Rumble out onto Eckerstecker Street out the window a few times. No, but so Sam's gone a long time, and where people only see his name now. Well, Blaine, I'm going to get Blaine in, so I'm not going to say too much about him. So I want to tell his own story as well, because Blaine's a little animal.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's a funny little fucker.
He's definitely
He's
a
a
sound one.
funny
Yeah,
little fucker.
he's a sound one. Yeah,
He
definitely.
really is.
Yeah, yeah.
If you check out him and his missus going back and forward, wears his missus pajamas and all, gassy is, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He
And
does
then
not care, yeah.
we wear my woman's pajamas as well sometimes.
Of course.
But I do
My
be
woman
getting-
wears mine as
I do
well.
be
So it's a swap, yeah.
Him getting stung out what I do. She just be sending pictures to Blaine's missus and all of that. But then, fuck me, the battle of the battles. Kiefer Crosby.
Look, I give that young fella good credit for stepping in and doing what he did, yeah. But like he was hitting Kiefer with like big solid shots,
Solid
yeah.
shots.
And Kiefer like didn't. It was like you may as well have been hitting a solid wall.
He went into a battlefield in his head there, I think. Like,
Yeah,
Kiefer,
yeah.
Kiefer
And-
was fighting Plant, a really, really good opponent. Doesn't back up, doesn't take off the pressure
Pressure,
almost.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the two of them just stared in each other's face and went at it. There was blood everywhere. There was blood on
It
my
was
hands
it was
and from
a
the
great
outside
fight,
and all
yeah.
that. And I'm not
Yeah.
even like. I can't. If you haven't seen the fight, make sure you go check it. And
Yeah.
huge congratulations to Keith for taking that step forward, because you deserve it, man. You well deserve it.
It's one
We've had
huge-
Kiefer on as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
we had Kiefer on as well.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
huge step closer, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely
definitely, like,
legend.
definitely.
So some great fights in the ring. If I'm forgetting anybody on that, I apologise.
Yeah.
I
But
apologise.
They were the highlights, weren't they?
Man,
Like, for
yeah,
sure,
they
yeah.
were the highlights
Yeah.
of the night.
Pascal was good as well.
Oh, Pascal.
Pascal was fucking good, man.
And he fought a good guy as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Alex
definitely.
Lahore.
Yeah.
Lahore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's another solid,
solid
opponent.
guy, yeah.
He's coming off 2 losses now, so I'm dying to see what he's going to do coming back. That's what Andy Sledge was saying to me. He's going to have to come back to the 3.0. But I think all the point is going out the window, and he's just going to go back and be himself. That's what he needs.
He's
to
a good
be,
fighter,
you know what I
like.
mean? It was good. And a night pack full of fights. Cause then I had the UFC was on right after that as well.
I went home to bed, man. I can't be staying up for them UFCs anymore, man. I think I'm getting old or
I
something.
don't know that night, but that night I was full of energy. I was where I was after, because when you come home, I think from events like that, like my day was from 9 o'clock in the morning till bleeding 1 o'clock in the morning that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a long day. Yeah,
Long
definitely.
day. Eating bananas and sandwiches on the road.
Yeah. No, I was on the devil's cabbage, so that probably helped me to go to sleep.
The devil's cabbage. When you hit the ground, your legs are like boom, upright, like a bird falling into that nest.
Definitely. Yeah.
Hang on down, Robin.
Yeah.
Help us with the roundup here, because Robin, we
Has-
haven't done Robin's roundup in ages. It's just been flying through the things.
Yeah.
Someone's actually texted me, "Wow, I'm the Robin's roundup."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So that's my one and only fan.
you've got a fan, Robin.
Your ma.
Probably is. Yeah. Me ma doesn't even listen to this show. That's the worst bit. But yeah, Donald Trump landed himself in a bit of water. Not by like the public this time. Probably.
I hope he fucking drowned it.
Yeah. No, it was quite funny actually. So he tweeted last night. His missus was getting kidney surgery and she was back last night. But he spelt her name wrong on Twitter.
Get up.
So he says, great to have her. So obviously her name's Melania. He says, great to have our incredible first lady back home in the White House. Melanie is feeling and doing really well.
Oh my god.
Imagine that. Like,
I hope you're not feeling a Melanie Trump.
He's the second most powerful man on the planet. Maybe the third most powerful man on the planet, man.
No, and I'm bad for missing spellings, but look, I'm not the fucking president.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're tweeting to millions and millions, like you're gonna check to make sure you spell your wife's name right.
Wife's name.
He doesn't care about that woman. I don't care what anyone says. Like, she's just like one of those little show dogs that like rich people get. You know what I mean? She's a pug to him, arm candy, and that's it.
I love Mark. Mark. Mark's out straight
Yeah,
away.
100%. Yeah, he does not love that woman.
It doesn't
at all.
suit, doesn't it?
No, it's terrible.
Where's she from?
I think it's somewhere in Eastern Europe or something.
He likes his Eastern European toys, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Not saying he's in bed with Russia or not, but like he likes his European toys, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
What would, if you spelt Chelsea's name wrong on Twitter, would you be in any trouble?
I'd be dead, man. Yeah, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I spelled it. I'll try not to spell it just in case.
If I even put my board's name up on Twitter, I'd be dead, yeah?
Yeah. Or even an easy one. You would be. Wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd be
I
dead.
wouldn't mess with Anjo. Anjo would be. Anjo.
You're not got an Anjo Banjo for nothing. She
Banjo.
banjacked you.
That's what I meant to say.
Slovenia, that's where she's from.
Slovenia.
It's mad, isn't it?
I'm sorry for Slovenia.
No, but you think Trump would be with an American because he's so an American.
But is he? Or is he just a shill? Is he just a shill?
My girlfriend, future mother of my baby, is
shocked to the system.
Is from England.
But she's not. She's from Liverpool.
She's
from Liverpool.
Yeah, but I get mad messages. Look, I got a message back. I remember the day, like, shame on you going out with an English person, and you're like, you obviously don't know me, man.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's like most of the people in Liverpool are Irish anyway. Yeah,
exactly.
Like you go to anywhere else in England, and the first thing they'll say is "Don't trust a Scouser," and that's what they say about us. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so us and Scousers are like pretty close together. You know what I mean?
No, we do agree.
I forgive you for having that Scouser. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But to me, as people are like, yeah, you should hate because you're from Ireland, and you're like, listen, I'm not about hate. I'm not zero about hate. You know what I am about though? The truth, the idea of like all of that mad shit's going on. Because I might even go into it again, but like I couldn't understand last week, right, how America had decided to go in and help Syria, right? 2-3 weeks before what happened, and then when the stuff happened in Palestine and Israel, they stood beside Israel, and the American president actually tweeted celebrations in Israel today because of the embassy going up in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, and then people on my Instagram saying to me, it's the Palestinian people that are in wrong, and then like, tiny percentage of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's crazy how a lot of, like,
People
people do
just
stay
don't-
out of it.
Yeah, people don't know. Yeah, it's easy to say how someone else is fight.
It
you know?
is.
But
Now-
like when it's like that famous old quote, like when they came for the gays, yeah, like I didn't go out and help. And when they came for like the lesbians, I didn't go out and help. When they came for the communists, I never went out and helped. And then when they came for me, sure, there was no one left to help me, was there?
I like it. That's
a great
class.
quote.
You know, and
That's a
that's
good
that's the way it is. Like, you know what I mean?
But
It's like
that is
if you don't look after your neighbour, look what happened in like Bosnia, in places like that, where like neighbours on the drop of a hat just slaughtered each other on someone's political say so.
Mm.
You know, like humans are pretty violent. You know what I mean? But we're also extraordinary love givers.
And
You know?
and I think that, you know, I think that's a huge part of that missing from the world. And now there's still a huge part of that in the world. But as you said there, and you touched on it right at the start, if you can like dehuman someone, if you can make them not human in a way, it kind of takes away the conscience of you killing them. And I think that's a lot of to do with a lot of the military. When if you look at a lot of military training is like taking that human away from you. You know what I mean? In a way of
until you have to leave the army and then deal with your PTSD and stuff.
and you know what?
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about you there. And
No,
that's kind
no,
of. Did they
yeah.
not cut all the funding and stuff?
They
like
don't
that?
care about you anyway. They put your family in a crap gaff that's filled with bleeding mould and everything. You know what I mean? They don't look after. Soldiers don't get looked after for the job that they do.
No, they don't.
Like the more important your job is in society, the less you're looked after and the less important you're made to feel. So like teachers and nurses, how could you run a country without teachers and nurses? Don't mind doctors, because they come around, they write out prescriptions, and the nurses go and fill them and administer it to you and like wipe your ass and tuck you into bed and stuff. Yeah. So like without them, you can't do anything. And then even the cleaners that are cleaning the hospital. You know what I mean? Like all the lowest down people who do like really critical jobs, they're never rewarded for that, or they're never made to feel like that they're doing something worthwhile. And then as soon as there's a tax cut or whatever, it's always the teachers, it's always the nurses, they're always the first to get it. You know, and we need them more than anything else.
More
you know,
than anything.
we could do with less doctors and have like less and have like more efficient, better doctors than having like, I don't want to go into hospital. I would like to know, like, before a doctor put his hands on me, did this guy get an A+ in his exam, or did he get like a D-, and his outfit is the head of oncology somewhere, and that's why he's getting in? Because I don't want him putting his hands near me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Like, you're never thinking about the qualification.
It's like, oh, he's a doctor, he has that suit on, he must be blah blah blah.
Trust me,
I'm a doctor. Exactly. Yeah.
Did he make that
Yeah,
song?
yeah.
No, only made that brainwashing song there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what someone said to me this morning as well, or not this morning, Jamie, the other day, and I remember being like, because people are like, Paddy, we love the way you're this conspiracy. And I'm like, I'm fucking not, you
conspiracy theorist, yeah.
And I didn't become this. I always had a point of view about some stuff.
There are real conspiracies, and then there are mad things like flat earth that just like take away from the real conspiracies. You know what I mean?
I think they added in to make the other ones seem more crazy.
Well, you have people like Alex Jones who spout on about them, and then like
That's mad.
turns around and says, "I'm just a character," like, you know. So like he's definitely like a government shield. Like, I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. Yeah.
No, like, and as you can't, because the truth is mixed so much with everything else. Is like
The only way to get near the truth, I believe, is you read like one political party's paper, you read another political party's paper, you read another, and then somewhere in between that, in the middle, is the truth. His opinion isn't right, his opinion isn't right, it's others' opinions, and the truth is in there. Whatever the battleground they're fighting over, that's the truth. Whatever the political hot potato is, you know what I mean?
I always say that the idea, like, I do an awful lot of looking myself, and like even Chelsea's like, you're going a little bit far with this, and I'm like, no, not really. I want to figure out what's going on for anyone else, for myself.
Yeah,
You know
like who's funding the paper that we're reading? Who's funding the research that we're reading? All that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
That's that the whole Israel thing. As I heard it say, it's like it's Britain's creation, it's Americans' investment, and it's such and such.
It's the world's problem.
It's the world's problem. You know what I mean? In a way,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That is ways of looking at it when you can see the thing, but as you're dead right, a lot of people just don't want to hear about it and don't really give a shit about it. But there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of kids, and a lot of like someone said to me, here's just a few things that kind of came back down to me. You're the dope. I don't know how they wouldn't see them flying the Irish flag out there, and you're like, no,
they do it quite often.
Have a look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
exactly.
it's like, so you can't even answer them things, and then you have a.
Well, hopefully you cop that guy onto a little bit of something. You know what I mean? Like, do you get me?
I didn't even say anthem, because the thing is, there's a certain amount, and then there was other ones I've heard. Do you know what? Some bad ones. It's like, it's human extermination.
It is extermination.
You could thank us.
Yeah.
You could thank us. That's
Yeah.
what some people are saying.
Have you seen
like,
the Israeli Defence Forces
there was
T-shirt?
another one, right? Another one. And I didn't reply to a lot of these stuff because, as I say, you're getting into it. They brought slingshots to a gunfight. Idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, they're people are talking about, man.
And that's the best weapon that they can acquire at that moment.
And someone sent me a picture. There was actually Gar Mack, and you know Gar Mack.
Yeah, yeah.
He sent me a picture of a guy in a wheelchair with no legs,
Yeah.
and he has a
sling.
catapult,
Yeah, yeah.
like a
Yeah.
David and Goliath kind of
Sling,
thing in
yeah,
their head,
yeah,
a slingshot,
yeah.
and he's throwing it, and it's like it doesn't look like a man that's there fighting for rebellious or for gold or for that like
No,
that.
if you look in their eyes, they're all dead and broken, and this is their only way out of
It's
there.
a
It's like,
man-
please shoot me. Please get me the fuck out of this open air prison. Shoot me.
It look because that is what that strip is, isn't it?
It's the world's biggest open air prison.
Like and I do love when I open up a little cap of things like this because I do get a load of information from all different sides of it, and then
Yeah.
I get to sit down and go through a lot
Yeah.
of it, and
Yeah.
look, there's a lot of different documentaries and a lot of different ways of looking at it, and then but the biggest thing, we're on it again. I can't stop talking about it all week.
Yeah.
No, because as you said at the start of this, you said something to me out there. I don't even think you said it on this. You said I had to start kind of like looking away from that stuff because it made me sad.
It made me sad and angry, yeah.
And
It
you know
makes
what,
me,
man?
and it gets into your guts, and it stresses you out, like.
And that's where
So,
I'm
like,
at with it
once
now.
I started changing myself over, I dropped all that off. I had to stop looking at. I don't watch the news anymore because there's never any good news on it. It's like here's your daily dose of something to get outraged by.
Yeah, you're kind
You
of
know,
right.
and like being outraged is like it's like a poison in today's system. People think they have a right to be outraged at things they don't understand. Do you get me?
And
It's
there's
stupid,
other-
like,
yeah, you're
it's
right.
conflict, like, you know what I mean, building conflict, where we all should be just, like, sitting down together and having a yap face to face, rather than, like, sending you a message on Twitter, so you wouldn't say that to me face, kind of, so, like, what are you saying to me over Twitter for? Just take that little 10 seconds to think about it, think about the effect of those words, because they're out there forever then. Like, if you think they're not out there forever, they're out there forever.
And here's a mad one, right? Someone sent me something terribly kind of hatred before, like on
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and said, "Listen, mate." I just messaged him because he seemed really, really angry about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I messaged him personally, didn't reply
Yeah.
back to him, sent him a video, and you know what he said to me? "Listen, mate, I'm giving up marijuana, and I'm a little bit antsy. I don't know why I even said that. It was the day before, and I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's
Wow, you're mad.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that publicly,
Yeah,
someone could go like
yeah.
that." And then I heard some other ones, right? And there's guys saying like, he's took too many head kicks to the brain. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's above his pay range. It's above. How does any of that make sense? Like, you know, I never took a head kick in my life in an octagon. If you look at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
never in my life.
Yeah.
Never got knocked out.
Yeah,
Never got.
but that's an easy thing to kind of. That's a little
Yeah.
thing you can retreat back to when you've got nothing else to say. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
you know what I
Do you get
mean?
me? It's like a little safe stance to take. You know what I mean?
It's a mad little thing
Yeah.
because I think when you're kind of talking to a lot of people from all different places at the same time, you get to see a little flavour of what the actual world is going on with it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And,
yeah.
and I think it is very easy to just say to yourself, "Do you know what, man? We just need to stay away from all them people and block all them people and,
Yeah.
and pull back into my life."
Exactly,
But
exactly.
But that's perfect. That's what people. So, like,
Yeah.
that's what a lot of the things want. Don't
Yeah.
question that and don't say nothing.
Yeah, but no, like, you can, like, reverse back into your life and, like, look at, take the gym for an example, yeah? You are building something in a community, yeah? And then that ripples out through the community. And that's more important, like, it's sad to say, but that's more important than what's happening in Israel and Palestine at the moment. Do you get me? Because it's immediate. Charity begins at home, help begins at home.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
sort out our own issues, and then people look and say, "Wow, look at the way that guy over there, there's always positive, there's never, like, any negativity from that guy," you know what I mean? Like, let's go over, like, this place is like a lamp and loads of moths are being drawn into it.
A lie.
You know what I mean? That's what it's
That's
like.
what I'm
Do you
saying.
get me? It's a big, huge, like, family atmosphere. Everyone looks out for each other. You know what I mean? And then that positivity gets brought out. That attitude gets brought from each of those individuals, and then they give it to someone else. They give it to someone else, and like this will, like, it's like a big virus of positivity that's going out there.
It is, and it's infectious. We actually had 13 people get their blue belts yesterday. You know what I mean? You do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's about 2 to 3 years of hard solid
graft.
work and graft, and there's little rewards in between it. You
Yeah, I
probably
was
get
dead after
strangled
that,
for
you
about
okay?
a year, I think. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Oh, it was great.
So we had a seminar here as well yesterday, and then the grade after, but it's incredible to see people advancing and the difference between
Changing. You can see them changing, like,
Changing.
changing. You become so much calmer, and it's like, there's a lot of things that can't get you the way they used to. Like I used to be like a little snap happy yoke, you know what I mean? A snapper and now it's like there's no need for that anymore. As you say, the little monkey is like satisfied, you know what I mean?
He's satisfied. That's what I said to you before, that chimp inside you was not satisfied, and he's looking for a reason to stand bigger than everybody else, you know what I mean?
Try and prove something that doesn't even need to be proved, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like that nobody really gives a fuck about either. It's like, my chimp does. You know what I mean?
I'm just feeding bananas now, he's grand, I was a bananas, I was a potassium.
Off the banana.
That's great to hear though, that's brilliant. Like, it's just...
That is it, isn't it?
The goings on in the gym, in the community, and like it's only been 8 months, like, and you see how far like people have come.
It's mental, it is. Like, and the group that have been training with me probably been training with me for about 2 years, probably more. Someone you know, like trained with me and stuff like that. But they've definitely been. This has been the home. This has been the home for the last.
And you can see that, like, as someone who only comes in like once a week to do the podcast, I can see that as an outsider, like how warm people are to me. Like when I come into the gym, you know, everyone always says hi. Yeah.
You don't get really funny looks when you walk in here, no matter who you are, like, you know what I mean? Like, we had some Majo come like sometime in the morning, like, and he was like gammon us on for free lessons, you know what I mean? Like me and Gardy, you know what I mean? Like, and it was like just go upstairs, you know what I mean? Like, you have no training gear here, have a pair of shorts, get out on the mat, you know what I mean?
Get up there and do something. No, but it is.
And then we copped on he wasn't a member. It was like, get out.
We had to set forward with shoes as revenge. They melted shoes over there.
They're yours, I'm melted walking in, to be honest with you.
Here's one for you, actually. Scientists just transferred memories from one snail to another in an experiment this week. So they had a trained snail and an untrained snail, and it's to do with the molecules in the brain. They figured that they could extract something here and inject it into that one, and they did it anyway. And then the untrained snail was able to do what the trained snail.
Is that molecule called DMT by any chance?
Yeah, probably. If I had some DMT, I'd probably think I was a trained snail too. But yeah.
What are you doing, sliding down the floor, Robin?
Yeah, leaving trails behind you.
I bet you know what? That's probably what happened.
You wouldn't know.
Mental, isn't it?
It is though.
But like, obviously that's
the start of.
Yeah. Because like memory is not just in your brain, is it? No. All your muscles remember stuff. Like memory is it's through your whole body. Like, you know what I mean?
But there's no way that could like that could benefit the world.
No, because that's just for future cloning. This is for the elites. This is for the guys who are like going out and like taking like young guys' blood and injecting it into them because it's got like fresh testosterone and it's got like fresh blood cells in it. Like all these trends that rich people do, like they just prolong that rat race they're in a little longer. Like, good luck to them, because I have no fear of dying. No, you know what I mean? Like I'm not afraid. Like, if I believed in a creator, which I don't believe in yet, like I believe in like a universal consciousness, all the energy that's in here, it's like stuck in here, and it just transfers from one of us to the next one. You become a bit of a tree, or you become a bit of a mushroom. You know what I mean? And like, that bit of your energy go everywhere else when you die. I don't want to come back as Anton. I believe I'll just be like downloaded into the universal consciousness, and then that'll be shared amongst the collective, and then bits of me will go one place and bits of me go somewhere else. I don't think it's possible for me to come back as me again.
No, you can't come back.
This is my one shot. So like all the energy and all the knowledge I've stored, that goes back into the like collective, the energy collective.
I like that. That's a good little thing about, because there actually was a little bit of deaths during the week, and it makes you think about it. You know what I mean? Like personally,
but we got the balance, didn't we? We completely got the balance. Like, we got both sides of that equation. Yeah. When you think about it, like, it nicely enveloped up in a little yin and yang shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and it did, didn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's the way it is. Imagine if all your ancestors were still here.
I know.
Can you imagine that? We'd be climbing over each other. There'd be nothing on the planet.
I'd be at fucking war with the Holahans.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
exactly.
There's no 5 of us and we're at war already.
You know what I mean?
Well, I am the king of the keep in the lineage of you now. You know what I mean? But there's no doubt. So there'll be a bed and some other man will come in.
Exactly,
and
that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right, because it's impossible for the whole world. Like, if something like that could ruin everything, you know what I mean? Because the natural process of people dying has because
you're going to get to it. No matter how long you keep yourself alive for, there will be a time that comes when you're no longer fertile.
Yeah.
Like, that system is going to break down at some point, and then you're just a load of old fucks who live for a long time, yeah, and like can't produce on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's spot, and it'd be like having a field. That,
Yeah,
that
a field full of clone bananas or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
productive.
yeah.
I think you get them years after your productive stage to stud and do whatever the fuck you want. Drink Guinness.
Yeah, you've raised your kids, you've done your little bit for the community, have a bit of a laugh. You know what I mean? People call it a midlife crisis, yeah, but it's kind of like an awakening when you get to a certain age, and it's like, right, I no longer feel the need to keep like fulfilling what they expect me to do. And you take that little jacket off and you feel a little bit lighter, and then you kind of run with that. And then people say, he's having a midlife crisis, that chap. He went out and bought a Ferrari. He's wanted a Ferrari since he's 12. How is it a midlife crisis? Now he can afford it. Now he has the time to drive that thing. You know, it isn't a crisis, it's a big awakening. You know what I mean? It's a big... But people can't handle change, man.
You know what I mean? He has different ways of looking at things, and you know what?
And everyone else can't handle the change. So for them, it's a crisis. Yeah, but for you, it's a liberation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like you were saying that about like with the referendum coming up. We'll close up here now in a minute, but the idea of having the freedom, I don't know whether I agree with yes or no. To be honest, I don't know which side I'm on, but the idea is that the freedom to be able to choose your own thing is an important thing because. Like, I shouldn't be... Like,
imagine having to look your sisters in the eye and say, I think you should be treated as a second-class citizen.
Your opinion of me is none of my business. Do you know what I mean? As they say, and my opinion of you is none of your business. And if people are comfortable enough to share their opinion with each other, it kind of brings your relationship a little bit closer. Of course. And
if you know the straight-up truth, like, in my house we have, like, what we call the 100% truth policy, yeah? And it's like, no matter what, you say it. No matter how you're feeling, you say it. And if the other person gets upset, that's their problem. So it's like kind of like on the lines of stoicism, you know what I mean? Like that, like you can only kind of change the things that you can really change, and everything else is like everything is grey until you put your own spin on it. You know, so someone dying can be like the happiest thing in the world, or it can be the saddest thing in the world. Like my dad died of cancer, and I was glad that he died because like he was in such pain that it was a relief to see him dying, and I felt good that he was gone. I didn't feel like, oh, my dad's dead, blah blah blah. It was like, nice one. You don't have to feel any more fucking that shit. You know what I mean?
And I think it does go so far because that is such a terrible disease, such a credible disease. Anybody that's ever suffered with that or ever seen people suffering with that will realise what that does. It's an awful sad time in anybody's life, but it is deliberate.
It's also joyful because you see a lot of people get cancer, and a lot of the other fakeness falls off them, and you know, and when they survive, like people who survive cancer often come out with a completely like much better human being because of it. You know,
and someone that suffered from cancer and actually died this week, that's been suffering for a long time, close to my own family, as it was incredible to see, and this was like the kind of the benefit I took out of it, and I was trying to comfort someone else and saying that, like, some people are driving to work and they die, and that's it. Yeah. But like, if someone is dying of a disease or dying of cancer, or not that it makes it any better or anything like that, but they get to realise that, like, hold on, this money means nothing.
These hours spent with these people is what it's all about, isn't it?
Around me, the surrounded people, like this man, were an incredible man, and like, rest in peace to him. But he got to remarry his wife again. He got to spend time. I was looking at photographs of them, and look, I've only known him the last 4 years, but what an incredible person. You know that he's the type of guy that if you needed a wage early, he'd be the type of guy to give it to you. You know, he and what I was saying as well was that, like, you can imagine the thousands of people over his life that he truly helped. And that when he died, they went back to the little moment.
Of course,
where he really did something.
Where he planted a seed of good in them.
In them, or the idea of he showed the good that humanity could be. But just doing something stupid and small, like, and I do them these days now, and I know that other people look at me and go, "You didn't need to do that for me," and I'm like, yeah, but I know someday. That's going to restore your faith in humanity, if you must, because so when the day comes to die, like, when I talk to like Death about with Chelsea and stuff like that, and Chelsea just be saying to me, like, you're very morbid over here, you're very morbid. Now, it was her going through that last week more than me, but she said to me, I understand, I know what you mean, like, death is not a big thing to be negative about.
Everything in this universe does. If you think you have the right to outlive a star, you know what I mean, you want to check your ego, homie, you know what I mean?
Check your ego, homie.
You know what I mean?
But the idea is even of death is that, if your human instinct is that it's not going to be us, that's what makes us get up every morning. Now, I think when some people fall into depression and stuff like that, maybe that there's less of that in your body, and there's less of that in your being of like, sure, we're all going to die in the end, and all of a sudden that becomes a little bit more of a realisation than, like, no, I'm never going to catch it, it's never going to be me, I'm never going to have cancer, I'm never going to,
Yeah, of course, it's always somebody else, until it happens to you,
That's a mentality, I think. That's a human mentality to keep
definitely.
you alive,
Yeah, of course. The grass is always greener on the other side,
It has to be.
Always, man, you know?
It has to be.
We wouldn't have left Africa without that, would we? You know what I mean?
Imagine me and you in Africa.
Oh, we'd be killing gazelles left, right and centre. We would barehanded. Covered in mud from head to toe.
A bit of olive oil.
You grow as a person, though. I think when you experience someone that you know that dies, like that's part of the whole life journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anytime someone dies, it changes your perspective on something small that you look at. Like say if it's your grandparents that die, for example, that definitely changes how you are with your own parents, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
You realise there's a finality to it, like. Yeah.
And it gets to a certain point where you just enjoy having your parents around and the time you spend with them, because you realise like, shit, like they're not going to be around forever.
No,
like some parents aren't great parents, you know, and even in that like time, like my dad like suffered like from alcoholism like his whole life, you know, and like he'd been a typical townie outfit, so like he wasn't great and he wasn't fucking the worst, you know what I mean? Do you get me? You know what I mean? But like when he was doing like like when you're changing that man's nappy, it's very hard to be angry at him anymore, you know, like, and like without even having to say anything, like there was a big kind of connection between us that we never had through our whole lives, like, you know what I mean? And like the last 2 months of his life, I like spent better hours with that man than I ever did at any other time. You know what I mean? If he had been knocked down or like died some other way, I never would have got that opportunity. You know what I mean? To grow, like, you know what I mean? For me to grow.
Which means it's very important that, like, because most of us are not gonna leave the earth that way, and most of the people are not gonna like. You're not going to get to enjoy that.
This is why I value the wake system so much, that we have in Ireland, Like, so you get to take a dead person into your house, and like they're there for like extra, like 2 days, 3 days, or whatever.
It freaks other people out, you know that?
I know, but it's so silly, like, because you get to sit down and talk to that person and like actually say goodbye.
What Irish people do, because some people don't even realise that's your loved one comes back to your house and they stay in your sit room for 2 or 3 days and they're coughing and people
come and have parties, basically.
Come and party and drink and
some of them parties are wild.
You know what I mean? And it's a crazy. I think that's
great though, because you get to say goodbye. Like, you actually get to say. Whereas when in other systems where they're parked off in a church and you're being told to leave your dead one behind in a cold space. You know, like there's a certain guilt that might get attracted to a lot of that. You know,
the last place I'd ever want to be for my last night is definitely in a church.
Yeah, I'm trying to wiggle my way out of all that as much as possible. I'm trying to find a way where I can like be buried like our ancestors. You know, like just be returned to the earth with no box and not in like a graveyard where like there's no real life happening. I would like to give myself back
into the air.
Like, I would love to go up to the Dublin Mountains and just throw myself under a big oak tree. To be honest with you, that would be my plan of how to go. You know, say nothing to no. It's illegal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's illegal, but I'd still plan on doing it. I still have people that would say that they'll do that. So like, I'll just disappear one day, and that'll be it. You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be.
Squad he is to get rid of himself.
Yeah.
Who are you getting rid of, Mark? Me, yeah.
Poor Mr. Wolf,
That's a fraud. Right, I think we're wrapping up on that.
Okay, but pleasure.
We're wrapping up on that. Mark, it's been an absolute
pleasure. Thanks for everything, Paddy.
The goose. What am I saying?
That's all the one, innit?
Episode 26. Catch yourself.